we've unboxed the LaserPecker LX2 and now we're ready to actually assemble it and put it together. Now, it comes with a clear instruction packet, so obviously use that if you want to, but in case you want me to guide you on how to do it, you can do it with me now. To get started, you're going to want to have a pair of scissors. We're going to open this up and we are going to cut these cables. You can also use a knife to do it more carefully and go from the inside to the outside. There's another one off to the side that we're going to cut. All right, so it says to slightly pull this out so you can install the laser. This handle needs to be up so you can install it. We have 3 modules. We have the 20 watt diode, the 2 watt infrared. The one we are installing today is the 40 watt diode. This is probably the one that I'm going to be testing this machine on because it kind of tests the max capabilities to me, but of course we'll try some with the infrared. We have those wonderful plastics to peel off. So we have this positioned like this, front facing. And I don't know if you could see, there's this and there's this. So you want to slide that into there. My handle went down. So this handle needs to be up when you're installing it. You install it and then you put it down to lock it into place. So there we go. We have the 40 watt laser module installed. It did, kind of go down on the track. So now we have 2 things here. This is the ear tube. They're switched positions. This is the ear tube. That connects to there, that little piece that sticks up. I hope this is clear. It's hard to see when I'm filming myself. So you want to connect that to there. And then you have the power, which goes here. There we go. We got it the right way. All right, now take your toolbox, the toolbox that came with your thing. And this is the distance sensor. And you have, in case you're wondering, you have labels, but this is what you're looking for. There are magnets on the back, and we're going to attach it to the side of the laser module. It'll click right in. I don't know if you heard that click, it just literally clicked right in. You do want to make sure that you have the strip removed from the camera. The instructions does say that, and this is a protective cover that you'll want to remove from the camera because otherwise the camera won't work the same way. Now we're going to connect the smoke exhaust and all that stuff. Okay, and I have that in another box that I've not yet unboxed. Now the problem is that I need access to do this. Now I actually did injure my wrist the other day. Only lift this with 2 people. It is heavy. So when I hoisted it up onto the table, I have a weak wrist. It's kind of my fault. But definitely do it with 2 people. So we're going to move the whole table. Now that we have it on the table, it's easier. Now we're going to use the larger hex key that came with the thing, that's the one with the handle, to carefully remove the 3 screws of the filter. Now these are small and I do recommend that you put it right into your toolbox so you don't lose them, rather than placing them on top of your machine like I just did. Three screws are out. Now you need to move it left or right, they said. Slide it left or right. I just pulled it off, so I don't know why they said to slide it left or right, but that's off. Now you're going to see that your exhaust pipe that came with your machine has 2 ends. One has, a connector to it, and the other one is blank. So you're going to be connecting this side to the screw part. So we're connecting this right over here. We're matching up the screw holes, and we're just going to put those screws right back in. The kit does seem to come with spare screws. I'm not sure yet if that's needed for something else, but there are definitely more of these in the kit. So if those are spare, that is a plus. All right, we have 1 in. All right, I gotta say again, I'm working on reviewing this machine. This is really just an assembly video, but I will make a comment that was super easy to assemble, to install. Just connecting these parts was very intuitive. No fancy rings or rubbers or whatever. Simple screws to hold it together. Perfect and beautiful and very, very seamless. All right, now we're going to be connecting it to power. So we have the power adapter and the power cable. They do come in different boxes. I have like cable management issues in my little corner. So I usually just, untie it when I see the exact distance that I need and try to keep things as secure as possible. Oh, here, you also have the USB cable. So we will put this to the side. We'll probably need that for our initial connection to our PC. And this is pretty self-explanatory. We're connecting that to that. And we'll plug this in here. And this mounted power strip, it's pretty clearly marked. You plug it in right over there. It's always nice when things are marked. All right, so now our machine is officially plugged in. Now we haven't yet connected the exhaust, but we do have this connected here. We have everything plugged in. I'm going to pull it and put it underneath the table so I can reach it when I need to. And I'm going to slide my table back into place so that I can continue with the assembly. And I do recommend, if you might need to move this around, that you have it on a dedicated table where you can do what I'm doing, because the best way to move it will be on a surface like this that could slide around because it is quite heavy. So now you can see that I can't really move it all the way back because I do have this, I do have the exhaust going down behind it. I don't know if you could tell, my table does always sit a few inches forward when I do have a connected laser engraver on it. I can, sort of move this piece back, but I will not. The wooden boards are really there because I painted the table and it serves as a nicer background. That's the main reason for them. But it does help me a little bit with positioning. Next, we're going to install the slats. Now, the slats are only needed if you're going to be cutting. We are going to be cutting. I really want this for cutting because the other lasers that I have are galvo lasers that move around with lights, and you get a bit of a slanted cut when you're doing slightly larger cuts. And so this gantry laser that runs on, these tracks are much better for those cuts because you're going to get straight down cuts that you can use to make slightly better builds. All right, so these are our slats. It comes with only 4 slats. I do wonder if they have a honeycomb base for this or something along those lines. I feel like that would be more practical. If I find out more information before I post this, I will let you know. Now, this does have a grid system inside the machine. I'm going to see if I can get the camera on it. All right, you can't really see it because this is in the way. But there are slats, and we are inserting these things. It's pretty self-explanatory. You'll see it, and you'll really just want. They're very modular. You'll want to just put it, where you need it for the for the piece of wood to be positioned. Let's say for whatever you're cutting to be positioned. So if you're cutting something smaller, you'll place them closer together so it could sit on them. If you're cutting something larger, you place them further apart so it could prop on it. I do think that, I don't know how this is going to work with cutting like smaller items, small pieces of acrylic. I'm guessing that you will need more slats for that. And again, I do wonder if they have or are coming out with a honeycomb base for this, but here is our cutting surface. So we've installed our slats vertically. They literally run like from there to there in the little notches. I'm not sure how, there's no contrast here, so I'm not sure how well you could see it. Here, I'm trying to see if I could like backlight it or something that you could see it. I'm not sure if you can. Here you could see that there are slats running vertically now. Now, the next part of assembling this is actually turning it on. And so first, what we're going to do is we are going to unpack the air purifier. All right, so now we're going to take one of these clamps and there they go. And we are going to take the exhaust that I left hanging. All right, so what we're going to do is this. We're going to take one of the included smoke things. We're going to place this over it. I did start tightening it accidentally. All right, so we've placed it into one of these clamps. Now we're placing it over and we're going to tighten this. And we're going to tighten it pretty much until it's secure, obviously. So we're putting another clamp on the other end. And again, it's a little bit too close, but you can sort of pull it out, angle it over like that, and get it below one of the top levels. And then you'll be able to sort of tighten it in place like that. So we're placing that inside it. And then when we tighten that, it'll all be connected so that when the smoke is extracted from the machine, it goes through the purifier. If you're going to exhaust it outdoors, you're going to take this, take it and connect it to that other end, the other one, similarly to how you did this, and then connect it, out the window, hang it out the window, or create some sort of system where you have a board or a hole or whatever in the wall. But we're not doing that. So we're plugging it in. Now I'm gonna plug it up there, run it behind my table. Now we've plugged it in and it's already switched on, but we switched it on, and now there is a power button there. Flow levels, time set, and settings. And you can hear that working. I am going to put it this way so that I have access to the buttons and out of the way over there. So there, it's out of the way and everything's connected now. We're going to power this on now. I am super excited. It's always so much fun to power something on the first time. There's the on-off switch in the back. I don't need to show you. It is quite obvious which it is. This red knob right over here is the emergency stop. You do have to make sure that it's not activated. So we just deactivated it. We just twisted it a little bit. Inside our kit, we had 2 security keys like this. And you're going to want to stick it into the one that shows a key symbol. Now your machine can't work with this inside. Without this inside, it's a security feature. All right, our machine's on. Now you can see that this has different indicators. It does say the basic, guidelines there, which is super helpful. Now, not an insignificant part of this, we have the ear assist. The ear assist really helps when cutting, tougher materials. And we have the manual, so we're going to assemble that. Inside this box, you have some filters, the tube, and the USB cable, and another filter. Sorry, each of these is one filter, it's just thick. Going to rip off that Band-Aid. Now this does connect externally. You can see this is where the filter is. There's already one installed. And this is different. It's not a it's not a USB-C. We're putting that in there. We're attaching the tube to the center. Now we're attaching it in the back where it's clearly labeled. Now it looks like they have fire management also. I don't know if that's been released already or if that's coming. And we connect that there. And now ear assist is connected. Now the ear assist unit gets its power directly from the laser itself, the LX2. All right, so there's the airflow fully set up. You can go higher or lower, auto, or on. This is presses for on off. That's off. And that sort of has a resting piece over there. And we will set it out of the way of our whole workflow. Just a little tip, especially if this is, your first time getting such a device, always designate a little container. I have the other laser modules in there, spare filters, the toolkit. That way I know which one it is. And of course the manual serves as a label for this box. And that way I always have what I need where I need it. And our final item that we're going to be assembling is our flexible fixture. Think about it this way. You have something that's maybe a cylindrical object that you want to engrave. And it's not going to just stay put. So you have this fixture. Let's say we want to engrave the wooden handle of this, right? But we want to engrave it over there. I don't know. It's not going to stay like that. So we would place it in there and sort of fix it there, and that would serve as a custom rest for that. So here we are going to just put this on. All right. Now, you loosen it a little bit, you can press these in. So let's position that at the angle we want it, like that. And then we lock it like that. And now I could simply engrave it like that. Now I should have maybe done a little bit more over there, but still it's holding. And you're going to just, place that inside and engrave it as needed. All right, now we have to set this whole thing up. It's connected to my computer. You can see the whole thing is lit up, it's powered on, it's working, and definitely look forward to my review and watch this space, and make sure to subscribe to my email so that you get an update when I have that live. So I can't wait to try out the LaserPecker LX2. I will definitely be dropping links here once I have the review live. Now, I have never done a video review of a laser engraver. This is even my first for the unboxing and the assembly. I am trying. I know that many of you like watching videos. It's easier in a way. I will also absolutely have a written tutorial, a written review. I personally work that way. I enjoy those the best because then I can just sort of go through, go back, find my place easily, Control F it. If you do decide to buy this, please use my affiliate link. It really helps me, you know, review these things. Anytime a company reaches out for me for something like this, I always tell them I'm going to be honest, and that is the precursor. So I will point out any flaws as I go along, and I will be 100% honest, even though I was gifted this. Definitely drop a comment if you have any questions, and please use the affiliate link in the description of this video. If you haven't yet purchased and you plan to purchase, it costs you nothing extra, and it just helps me get paid for the work that I do. Thank you, and of course, subscribe for more like this.